I thought we saw a lot of good things tonight. I thought the energy and the effort was there. Sometimes when the execution wasn't, we didn't make a lot of shots, especially early in the game. But the kids played hard and they persevered through that, and they were patient, and they just followed the process of the things that we've been working on. But again, the two things we can control are energy and effort, and I thought that was there. A lot of kids did a lot of good things.
I know you said earlier at the media days that you weren't going to use youth as a crutch, but did we see a little bit of the youth come out right there at the beginning of the game with a slow start?
I think as much as anything was nerves. I mean, you have two players that started the game that have ever been in this situation before. So, I mean, there were some nerves. I had some nerves for them because I knew that was going to be difficult for them to start. So that's why I didn't get too upset or really too concerned at the beginning of the game, because I knew we had to play through that. But, you know, there was a reason that we started some of the kids that we did, and there was a reason that we brought the kids off the bench that we did, because at this point we've got to see how these kids are going to respond to different things. But I thought they did a good job of, like I said, playing through it, kind of persevering, and just being patient.
At the end of that second quarter, it's kind of a back-and-forth game, each possession. Neither team got about a basket of separation. All of a sudden, you bring out a press that really kind of threw Lindsey Wilson off. Is that something that we might see more often this year?
Well, I think we have the kids that are capable of doing that. I mean, I know what Alexis Burpo can do on the top of a press, and she can create a lot of havoc. And I just felt like at that time we needed a little change of pace. We needed to try to put a little pressure on them, maybe use our defense to turn into some offense. And the kids just really did a good job there for a stretch of 2 or 3 minutes of just really turning the game around.
Outlaw came off the bench, had a pretty good outing shooting for 13 points. Do you see her as kind of a go-to scorer going on throughout the season?
Yeah, I wanted to see how Deasia would react to coming off the bench, because at this level you need a kid that can come off the bench and be a spark offensively and defensively, and we knew she had those capabilities. I mean, we watch her every day in practice. Maybe the first game in her life she hasn't started, so I wanted to see how she reacted to that mentally, because, again, at this point we've got to test them and we've got to trial them in several different ways, but she handled it like a champ. She was ready to go, and it's in the moment that she went in the game, she started turning things around for us. Really proud of her for being mentally tough.
Obviously, this is a very early version of your team, but what will we see perhaps this team work on over the next week to get ready for a team like Evansville when the lights really do come on?
Well, defensively, we're still a little bit too deep in our gaps. We're giving up too many open looks. We gave up a lot of straight line drives to the basket. I mean, we work really, really hard on that every day. But when it gets live and things are quicker and faster, sometimes we tend not to be there. So every single day we're going to continue to work on our defense, and that starts with our transition defense. We have to stop the basketball, and we have to load to the side of the floor. These are things that they've heard every single day since they've been here. But again, if we were perfect defensively right now, I'd be worried. I mean, we are a work in progress in every sense of the imagination, and we just have to basically continue to get better. But I thought that at times communication defensively was good, and if we can buy into that and do that consistently, I definitely think we're gonna be better defensively.
Your two starting forwards, Brianna and Evelyn, were 11 of 18. I know a lot of those probably came from a breakaway layup, but how well do you think your post players played tonight when they got that chance to set up in the post and make some moves and get some baskets?
Well, Evelyn went to the foul line 10 times, and that's outstanding. It shows how aggressive she is, and I think tonight that she showed the type of player that she is. I mean, she can run the floor and score in transition. She can step out and make shots. She can score on the inside, and we knew that she was capable of doing that. I thought early we didn't go to her enough, and I thought that's why our offense was a little bit stagnant, because you have to go inside out. But I really thought that she showed tonight what she's capable of doing, capable of helping lead us both offensively and defensively. She's very good defensively because she communicates and helps the other players on the floor. So she stepped up to be a good leader for us. Crane does a great job. She's always going to play hard. She was a little bit out of position tonight because they played four guards, and the athletic kid kind of took her out on the floor a little bit, and that's something she's not used to. But we made her do it because she got to learn to be able to do that. And I thought that she made some outstanding moves tonight. She just didn't finish. So we've got to work on that. That's something that we're putting a lot of time and effort in to getting them to finish with contact. But I thought both of them stepped up and did the things that we needed them to do.
And Janika had the double-double. What did you kind of see from her as far as her aggressiveness on the boards and getting in the room?
Janika is a very special talent. I mean, the kid can do some things that you don't see kids do very often. I mean, her ability to go and stop and change speeds and make defenses fall over is unbelievable. If she ever figures it out, she is going to be a force to be reckoned with because she can do so many things. But I thought tonight she stayed within herself. I thought she ran the basketball team. She pushed the ball in transition. She had 10 rebounds. I mean, that's unbelievable from the guard spot. But, I mean, she's very capable of that. She's always going to be one of the most athletic kids on the floor. So she is a work in progress, but before this year's over, she is going to be a kid that everybody's going to know who she is because she is so capable of doing so many things. And if she will work as hard as she did tonight, especially on the boards, we're going to be really, really pleased with where she is, from game to game.
I know it's exhibition, but I've got to ask, coming into this, does this look like the minutes total that you'll kind of look at over the next 2 or 3 weeks and see how things unfold?
I honestly have no idea how many minutes anybody played. I just tried to put different combinations on the floor at times. I think maybe some people didn't play as much as maybe I would like to have played them. But we have several kids that are right there together in certain spots. And every day in practice, they're vying for playing time, which is a great problem to have. But the margin for them is very slim. So it's going to be what they're able to do and how they're able to perform when it matters the most. It's going to separate them in somebody getting 25 minutes and maybe somebody getting 12. So I don't think that there's any way I can give you an answer to that right now. I think it's going to be game to game. It's going to be the people that are able to do certain things against certain opponents. It's going to be based on scout. Because we are definitely deeper, but the thing about that I like best about that is we can hold people accountable. If they take a bad shot, they come out. If they're lazy on defense, they're going to come out. If they're not playing we over me basketball, they're going to come out. That's a luxury that we have this year that we didn't have last year.
You employed some of that tonight, I would imagine. There were just a few times where you were able to kind of take a look and say, all right, you missed some free throws, you missed some rebounds, you missed a box out. Come and get a lesson while we put someone else in.
Right. Well, it's all about accountability. I mean, they have to hold each other accountable. They have to hold themselves accountable, and we as coaches have to hold them accountable. If we let them take bad shots in an exhibition game and don't correct that, then we can't expect them not to take a bad shot Wednesday night. If they miss a block out in an exhibition game and we don't correct that, we can't expect them to block out Wednesday night. I mean, it's all about holding each other accountable. They have to hold me accountable. I have to hold them accountable in order for us to get better. We're working inch by inch here. I mean, we are the 12th team in the conference. So each and every day, we're going to grow an inch. And those inches are going to add up over time. I do think this team can do a lot of things when it's all said and done, but it's not going to happen overnight. This is a process. This is something that these kids have bought into. I'm going to have to be patient. They're going to have to be patient, but I think you saw tonight that the talent's there and the willingness to work hard and play together is there. We were selfish tonight in the fact that we passed the ball too much. I mean, you can be selfish by not taking open shots when you should take them. A lot of people think, well, that's good, they're unselfish. No, because they passed up a better shot than we got with the extra pass. So right now we've got people being too unselfish, so to speak, whereas we got to get people, because we want certain people to take the majority of the shots. I mean, that's basketball.
You guys struggled behind the arc just a little bit, 1 for 13. So what do you kind of think attributed to that?
Well, I think it's contagious, really. I mean, 2 or 3 go in, the rim looks bigger. Kid makes 1, the rim looks bigger next time they shoot. I just think that it was one of those nights where we didn't shoot the ball well. Went to the foul line and were atrocious. I mean, that is unacceptable. Cannot happen. And good free throw shooters, kids that make free throws on a regular basis, went up there and were missing 2 in a row, 3 in a row. Again, contagious. I know that's crazy because people don't understand that, but the first 5 or 6 free throws go in, the majority of the rest of them go in. The first 3 or 4 threes go in, the rest of the threes go in. It's just part of basketball. I've seen it way too much. But when one person starts missing, it's just like a snowball effect. But again, we've got to do a better job of that. I mean, in a close game, that would have killed us tonight. I mean, the game should have been put away a lot sooner, but we missed, 14 or 15 free throws? I mean, that's just not acceptable.
19 of 35.
And the last thing I told them before I left the locker room is if you're not in the gym tomorrow shooting free throws, you're cut. Because if you want to be a we over me player, you're realizing that we did not do that well, every single one of us, so we are going to work on that tomorrow. But the difference in this team and others is they'll all be in that gym tomorrow because they want to get better and they want to hold each other accountable and they don't want to let each other down. That's the difference for this team.
I got to briefly ask, and I'm sure you got other things to do, but I was curious as far as running the ball up the court. We saw 3 or 4 different women tonight, especially a couple times Evelyn just get free reign, so to speak, it looked like, to run transition. Is that something you're hoping to see out of this team?
Yes, we're going to play fast. When you have 2 point guards on the floor at all time, you have to take advantage of that. I think we have kids that can push the ball. Most lineups we have are going to have 4 people that can push the ball in transition, and I think that's when you put people on their heels and you make them have to make plays. They lose people in transition. Obviously, our bigs are athletic enough to outrun other bigs. I think you saw that tonight. We've got to take advantage of the things that we're good at, and we're really good when we got out in transition. You mentioned the press as far as changing the game. In the third quarter, we ran 1 or 2 sets. That's it. That's great. If I never have to call a play, we're playing fast, kids are making plays, we're playing basketball. That's the type of basketball we want to play.